It's just fine. It's just me. But welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to the family. Thanks for joining us. Okay, y'all. So today is day 27. I know I didn't do day 26, but for some reason, I don't know. It's like this month of October just wouldn't let me be great. Like, I literally want to go 31 days, literally straight, serving y'all Halloween looks. But October just wouldn't let me be great. So I was like, well. So here I am on day 27, serving y'all Queen of the Vampires. And that's the look that we're going to be doing today. I don't really have to wipe off my face because I already did that. I did that while I was in the middle of trying to put my contacts in. Because hey, it be real. It's like I get plot one in and it takes me literally an hour or probably 30 minutes just to put the second one in. And I planned on actually going live tonight, actually at 8:30. So I don't know what happened, y'all. But we're gonna go ahead and get this live started. I think my kids be messing with my computer because it's like every time. Every time. I don't even see the mirror that I was using to do my makeup and stuff with. I don't even see it. That's how I know my kids was messing with my stuff. They always mess with my stuff. And they wonder why I'm always fussing. I think keep my face a little bit cleaner. I'm just waiting for November to get here because I got some really, really great content that I was trying for a minute. Now I'm gonna have to get up and go get a mirror. It should not have been moved off of this table at all. Like when I say my kids mess with my stuff, my kids literally mess with my stuff and then they touch stuff and they don't let me know where they put it at, where they moved it to, or nothing. Especially my oldest one. He's very good at doing it. Oh yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab me another small mirror. Okay, he was basically. Okay, y'all. I'm back. I told y'all I gotta always go grab something that I know should always be on my table. It shouldn't be touched. These children. The life of a mom. I was tripping. I'm like, now I gotta get a pencil sharpener. Okay, yeah. And go ahead and start this look. Get started on my brows. Um, I don't know why I feel like. Hold on, y'all. Okay, they feel better. I feel like the bottom part of my contact was starting to lift up. I say, nope. Thought I was tripping for a minute. Hmm. I have to. Oh, I should have brought my archer. That way I could have cleaned up under my brows. That's what I should have did. That way I could have just meshed up my brows. But oh well. I be trying to have to make sure that both of these, I'm gonna say this in every single video, both of these match up. Most definitely this one because I have a scar that's right there. And it's like me drawing on it is going to either make the arch of my brow more rounded or it's going to make it too pointed. And I'm not trying to have all that. Okay. So we're going to set this off to the side because I'm going to end up using it later anyways, especially like for my lips. So just set that all to the side. Now I'm going to go with my concealer. I'm going to say as soon as I can find it, but here you go. Clean the brows up. Now, if I had a actual client, I actually wouldn't be using the end of this. I actually just put some on the back of my I have this thing that I use for makeup and stuff. I would put it on that, or I just would have put it on the back of my hand, and then I would have certain did it. But I'm not gonna use nothing that I actually did and put on my face and then put on somebody else's face. It's very unsanitary. And I ain't gonna lie, I've seen people do that, and I'd be like, really? Especially if it's like a concealer that's supposed to be your own personal concealer. I done like literally seen them do that, and I'll be like looking in the videos like, wow, wow. And you cannot tell me you have like that same concealer in like that same shade for over the hundreds or tens or the thousands of people that you probably have as a client, including yourself. No. You keep feeling like I can feel like the corner or something on my contact. I don't know. I don't know. I may just be tripping, y'all. It's probably what it is. I'm probably just tripping. Mm, I'm trying to find the brush that I used already for blending out my concealer, but I haven't used another brush. Just make sure you cover your whole entire eyelid. Okay. Okay, so first makeup question. Um, the order that I always start is with my eyebrows and my eyes first because I feel like I'm heavy handed. So I feel like if I put on my foundation, do my contour, my highlight, all that, and everything else, and it's like I have any type of fallout from my eyeshadow, especially if it's like a very, very bright or dark eyeshadow, I'm gonna have to like clean it all from anything and have to like literally start all the way over. So I don't want to start over. So my thing that I do is I start my brows and my eyes first to go ahead and get that out the way. That way I don't have to worry about it because you can always go back and do your eyeliner and your lashes and your mascara and stuff after you finish the rest of your face. You can always do that. Okay. In answer to your second question is the best makeup brushes that I've used so far are my e.l.f. brushes and my Morphe brushes. Like I use those alone as you see and as you seen I posted to my Facebook page. I have a lot of makeup brushes, but those are like mainly my best makeup brushes if you want to use those. Or you can go to this company called Lorella Cosmetics. They have some really good brushes too as well. And then too, the makeup brushes depend on what type of budget that you're trying to budget yourself on spending when you buy brushes. Because I'm not going to necessarily say that the Morphe brushes are exactly affordable like that. You'll do best with the Morphe. You'll come out cheaper with Morphe brushes buying them in sets instead of buying them individually because you'll spend more money buying them individually as opposed to you actually buying a whole set. As opposed to with e.l.f., you can literally buy those individually and then they don't really cost that much. Like the really small eyeshadow brushes, I think they're like $2, $3. The little bit bigger brushes than that, they're like $4, $6, and I think like the biggest brush that they have is like 10. So you'll spend way less money buying the e.l.f. brushes out individual because I haven't seen them sell them in the store as far as like in a pack. I've seen Morphe if you go to Ulta, because I always go to Ulta to get any of my makeup products besides Ulta and Walmart. They're like the main places. So if you go to Ulta and you go to their Morphe section, they have the sets and they're a lot cheaper if you buy them as a set. Okay, so next, let's get to next. Next has some really good them and Juvia's. They have some really good makeup prices at a reasonable price. Cause like my James Charles palette, I think I paid like I think it was like 30 something for it or something like that when I got it. But my Juvia's palette does I don't have it with me. The the palettes are like literally about this big and it depends on which one you choose because some of them have like 8 shades in there, some of them have like six, some of them have like 10. So it depends on which one, but they're like really small and compact and they're really affordable because I think the the two palettes that I have, I actually paid like I think it was like 12 or 16 a piece for them, as opposed to if you used to buy. this one, the James Charles palette, because I think the smaller, the mini palette is just the same price as this one. And let's see what other palette. Oh, Next, they have some really good affordable products as well. They're not really on the high end. I call them like kind of like the in between beauty brand. They're not too low budget, but they're also not expensive as well. They're really affordable if you're trying to work on a budget. Now, as far as like foundation, and you're trying to be affordable as far as foundation and concealers, I could say that you can use like any drugstore products. Um, yeah, any drugstore products like Maybelline, L'Oreal, Black Opal, Black Radiance, Wet n Wild, NYX. I would say NYX is really drugstore, but they still have that drugstore pricing. So it's like their foundation and concealer still is affordable for people to actually buy. The same way with Juvia's. Juvia's foundation and concealers are actually affordable for you to buy. Also, ColourPop. ColourPop is really affordable as well. Okay, my go-to look for a regular day is just do my brows, like just a regular routine without a dramatic eyeshadow look. I just throw on some lashes and eyeliner, lip gloss, lip liner. That's it. Or I probably like a neutral lip, not really like a bold lip or a bright lip or anything. Just do my face how I normally would do it and just throw on some eyeliner, lashes, and a neutral lip. That's my go-to. Okay, I'm gonna go with my James Charles palette. Y'all excuse me, I really do have a real bad habit of biting my lips. And like I'm really hurt inside because y'all look at my palette. Y'all see the areas where it been dulled and Claudette. I was really mad. I didn't do this. So don't assume just because I was there I was really mad that I did this. No, I did not do this. My dear darling 3-year-old did this. And I'm pissed because I'm like, okay, where were your brothers while you was being destructive? Where were they? Okay, yeah, just to start off our look, we're gonna go with this little tan, brown, orangey shade. That's why I like palettes that have a whole lot of shades. I just don't like palettes that don't have the name of the shades because when people go ask me, "What was the name of the shade that you use?" I cannot tell you because the names are not on here. And even if the names were on here, the little, like the little thin places ain't it probably had the names on them. It's thrown away. I don't have it, so I don't know. I'm just gonna take this shade all the way up to the eyebrow bone. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with one of my, I can't find it, fluffy brushes. I'm gonna use a darker shade. And just take this into right there where my crease is. I don't think it's really a shade that wouldn't bring out dark skinned people because I have plenty of dark girls, especially that I follow on Instagram. They can literally walk with a bright popping cobalt blue and it'd be like, wow, it's popping on their skin. It's like literally there. It's just all about the base that you use before applying your eyeshadow. Because I've seen people who my shade and lighter, and like some shades won't even pop up on their skin tone. So I don't think it's really an eyeshadow color that can be recommended for any color because I feel like eyeshadow is just meant for any color. Now, as far as like if you're talking about like foundation, concealer, and all that, yeah. Dark skinned people, you don't want to use a concealer that's this shade. You don't want to use a concealer. It's like a concealer that you would use on a dark skinned person would be a concealer that you would consider to be like my shade of foundation or darker. You wouldn't use like a light concealer the same way you wouldn't use that color concealer on somebody lighter than me or somebody white, because it's literally going to show up on them yellow. Okay, guys, I'm gonna use this brush real quick with this shade. Okay, so I'm gonna use this in because this is a double-ended brush. I like brushes like these. I'm just gonna use that little short flat end of it just to take some black shadow and go into my crease. Okay, well, y'all see everything is blending out just fine. Cause me, when I first started out doing like, using black shadows, like I used to do like all bright shades. Cause I'm like, I could blend a bright shade, no problem. When it came down to me, like, all right, let me use a black, let me get a dark shade. And you talking about somebody who used to have raccoon eyes? I had raccoon eyes. They used to look hilarious. And it was like my first time ever trying to make an attempt to do a a smoky eye. Yeah, a smoky eye. That was horrible. It looked it horrible. It looked it horrible. Now my smoky eyes turn out just how I want them. Well, this isn't gonna be full smoky eye. Not exactly. Lip glosses and lipsticks for me. Hmm. Me personally, before I ever apply like my lip gloss and stuff, like for my videos, I don't do all that the extra stuff because as soon as I get done with the video, I'm going about my business. Except for the video that I did Friday, I actually did a little bit extra steps because I was actually going somewhere, so I actually needed my face to actually be set. But before I apply lipstick or lip gloss, I actually put Vaseline on my lips first, and I haven't really come across a long wear lip gloss as of yet. Still trying to find one. Haven't seen one yet. But for me, lipsticks, I usually use like matte lipsticks because they're smudge proof and they dry matte. They're not too glossy, and I don't really have to put them on as often if I was to just wear like a regular cream lipstick or like a glossy lipstick. I don't have to put on a matte lipstick as often. Yeah, I actually do change on my makeup routines between basically winter and summer because my skin is like a totally different tone. So it's like when winter hits, I'm actually lighter, and summer I'm actually darker. So I have to change my foundation and my concealers. I can't use um the same concealer and foundation because it's like my skin in the winter and springtime I have more of a pink undertone, and in the summertime I have more of a golden undertone. I wouldn't say pink undertone for like winter and spring. It's more like a reddish orange undertone. Like me personally, yeah, I can't really see it. If like I was in direct sunlight and everything else, I'd be a whole lot lighter than what I am. As opposed to like if I was in the sun during the summertime, I actually be a lot darker. Like everybody does it. It's always good to have a winter and a summer foundation and concealer. Okay, so to help with your makeup actually wearing off, or you sweating your makeup off to make it sweat proof, I always use my Morphe continuous setting spray. I always use this in between applying my makeup. So you'll before I actually get started with my makeup, you'll always see me apply a moisturizer, a setting spray, and a serum to my face because I have a combination of both oily to normal skin. But because I know I have oily skin right up in here and right up in here and right up in here, basically might as well say my T zone. All of that gets really oily. I have to put on all of those things to make sure my skin stays hydrated and moisturized throughout me having to wear my makeup because my makeup actually is and does be a lot heavier than regular people who has normal to skin. Like if you got dry skin, those moisturizers is going to help and it's not going to let your makeup look cakey. Um, and it's not going to allow it to like really crack because it's like once I get to my eyes, you're going to see me use rose water as my primer before I actually put on my foundation. Once I put on my foundation, you're going to see me move to my setting spray, do my concealer, do my contour. Once I do that, get that blended out, I'm going to spray this again. Then I'm going to set under my eyes, like put my setting powder in where I need to, sculpt my face, blend those out, do another of this, spray this again. Then do my blush, highlighter, finish the rest of my face, set and spray one more time. When I say your makeup will literally last throughout the day, your makeup will last throughout the day. If you have oily skin, I suggest you bake. Please let that setting powder sit on your face for a moment. You ain't gotta let it sit on there for 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Just let it sit on there long enough for the powder to actually just stick to your face. Cause you don't want to sit right there. Oh, I'm just gonna powder it on, set it on there, and then you brushing it off, and you out there, you probably outside for like an hour, and then all of a sudden you're sweating off your makeup. And then too, if you're starting to sweat, don't wipe. Never wipe your face when you have on makeup. Always take you like a paper towel or like a compact that has like your setting powder in it, more so like a translucent lucent powder, and just pat, pat your face, pat the areas. Use the paper towel first to pat the sweat up. Then go in with your translucent powder to set your face. That'll work. Okay, so to use as a base to make your eyeshadow pop, they do have eyeshadow bases out there. They have eyeshadow bases, and you can also use like a white concealer, or you can use like a concealer that's like this shade or even lighter. You don't want to use a concealer that's too dark. You always want to use some concealer that's super, super light. That way, like bright colors are really stand out. They're really pop. Never use a dark concealer. Never. That's a no-no. Because then you're going to have this dull shade and you're going to be wondering why your yellow why your yellows are not sticking, your yellows are not popping. You're going to be wondering why your pinks look dull and your blues just look washed out. Don't use dark concealers. Always use super, super light concealers. Okay, so you may be a cappuccino in one brand, but in another brand, you may be a butter pecan. In another brand, you may be a dark tan, or you may be um you may be a hazelnut. Like they have different shades. Like every brand, the shade, you're gonna always find your shade. Sometimes you're not because there's a lot of people out there that may be your shade. So sometimes you gotta take a darker shade and a lighter shade to mix together to make your shade. Cause I do that a lot of times, especially with like with mix. Cause every time I seem to go get the shade that I know is my shade, they never have that shade. So I have to take two different shades, like cocoa and hazelnut, mix them together, and I got my shade. No problem. But also, if you can, like I said, the best place to try like makeup swatches is actual makeup stores, not places like Walmart, Walgreens, and stuff like that. That's the big no no. At least in a makeup store, they do have like makeup wipes and stuff, and you don't want to swatch right here. Your best bet is to swatch right here on your face. That way, you can actually get your actual skin tone because this part of your arm is actually lighter than the rest of your body because this part of your arm actually gets less sunlight and it's get less tan than the rest of your body as opposed to your face, your neck, your chest. Those places aren't really actually covered as normal, especially like your arms during the summertime. They're not really covered as normal. So it'd be best to swatch any foundation, concealers, or anything on your face. That way you can actually get the tone that you need. And then to like if you want to use like a different brand than the brand that you normally do, that's why I say don't always get the same shade. Well, don't always look for the same shade name in another brand because not every brand is going to have a cocoa shade. Or if they do have a cocoa shade, that cocoa is either going to be too dark or it's going to be too light for you and it's not going to be your shade. Just because it says cocoa don't mean to get cocoa. Always get a shade or two lighter than your actual shade in another brand. So some good products to use for beginners, I would mainly say if you know you're not good at contouring, I say stay away from contouring. Don't go to contour until you know that you're comfortable enough to do it. Cause I know for the longest I never contour my face. I used to always just throw on my blush, throw on my highlighter, and just took my picture at a certain angle. That way it looked like my face was contoured because I never felt comfortable doing contour. I stayed away from contour until I actually was comfortable enough to do contour. The same way with cut creases. It took me a minute to do cut creases because I was never good at doing cut creases. I can always do like I guess it's like the moon or whatever. I can always do that, but I can never do a natural cut crease look. The same way right now, I'm making attempts to do like the cut crease looks that have multiple cut creases in the eyeshadow. So I'm actually attempting to do that. So right now I haven't went out about doing any of those looks or show anybody with those looks because I have yet to perfect those looks. And I'm not going to show anybody how to do those looks if I don't necessarily know how to do those looks. But if you want, I'll say even if you conceal like under your eyes, the bridge of your nose, above your lip, around your cupid's bow, your chin, your forehead, like right up in this area, even if you contour and blend that out, it'll still look like your face is sculpted. To me, it does. And then you just go as usual. Apply your setting powder on the areas that you conceal. Put on your powder that's the same shade as your foundation. Go ahead and set that. Put on your highlighter, your brush. You're done. You're good. But that's that's easy for me. I'm a next month I'm gonna do a video just only for beginners, just a makeup tutorial for beginners. That way you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna do like different parts, like how to do a cut crease, how to do contouring, all that just for beginners. Okay, so we just gonna let this sit for a little bit. Okay, so concealer is basically like brightening. You brighten up the areas that you want to draw attention to. Contouring is basically like you darkening. So you take away attention from the areas that you don't want attention to. And then two, it brings shape to your face. So like if you really don't have like cheekbones or you really want to give yourself like that look for your cheeks, you'll basically just like how I always do, you see me with going with a darker shade powder right along this area just to bring out your cheeks. 'Cause I have them, so I try to sit right there and actually slim down. That's the reason why I take mine up a little bit higher. That way I can actually slim down this area right up in here. And like you can't really see, but it's like if you have like a forehead, yeah, a forehead, and you want to like bring it down, narrow it down, it's basically like your contour just around your hairline area to bring your forehead in some. Okay, they actually do have products that are actually hypoallergenic that people who do have allergies can actually use. I'm going to have to tomorrow. I'm gonna have those companies listed. I'll probably list them in my description because I probably can look them up once I get done with my video and actually tell you those companies. It's quite a few companies that are actually animal cruelty free, so they don't test on animals at all, and there are companies that are actually hypoallergenic of people who do have allergies and who do have sensitive skin. Okay, a good glitter eyeshadow palette I would say would be the only one that I have is by um Glamour Cosmetics. That's the only one that I have, and that's the only one I've used because I really like those the glitters in that palette because they're really pigmented and it really like you can either use it without using any lash glue as opposed to like most of them because you have loose glitters, you have pressed glitters, and you have gel glitters. Three different types of glitters. So it depends on you. I like pressed glitters and prefer gel glitters because they're not messy. So you don't have to worry about that big of a mess while using them. So that's my preference. I'm trying to see if I can find. Okay, so mm, I would prefer you to not matte shadow. I prefer you to apply a shimmer shadow as your base before applying the glitter. That way you'll give the glitter even more of a pop. I'm gonna have to look them up. I'm trying to. mm, I'm gonna have to look, y'all. Let me finish up this look for y'all so y'all can trying to figure out because I can't name the brands like right off the top of my head because it's like I got something on the top of my head and I cannot remember like literally the names off the top of my head like that, but it's some brands that I know for sure they're actually cruelty free and they're actually good. Okay. Right now I'm applying like a shimmery copper shade to the front of my crease and towards my inner eye. I'm just gonna take a darker color of that bronze shade and put it right next to that one. I'll blend it in a moment. we're gonna take those two shades and we're going to marry them. Okay, so now we're gonna go again without black. Okay, so I already got primer, so since I'm gonna be washing this off my face anyways, I'm not gonna be worried about using my I'm gonna worry about using my rose water. I'm gonna go ahead and go in. Oh, I didn't take them out. I cleaned them. I'm gonna say like, where are my butters? Okay, y'all. So got my blenders. I was like, I'm missing something. I was missing my blenders. Let me go ahead and apply my foundation. I get towards the end of my video. Because I always think, every time I'm about to record, I always think that I have everything and I really don't have everything. I know one thing, my pores is poking out. I actually have a pore filler, but I have no idea where it's at. It's like, been looking for it for the longest and can't find it. Can't find it nowhere. I'm gonna go ahead and apply my bite. As soon as I see what in the world I did with it. Oh, it's right here. I'll go ahead and apply this. That way I can cover it with foundation as well. And I got this from Spirit of Halloween too. Hopefully it sticks because it says it's still a stick. Now I gotta figure out how to get this off. Okay, got it. Put foundation and stuff around it. I guess I'm just looking at the foundation because I need some more. I need some more concealer too. I think these Halloween places forget that black people also play with their makeup and stuff because none of their prosthetics ever match somebody dark. Because it's like, yeah, it's really egging me. It really is. But I'm like, got to do this. Like, I'm gonna make it look bruised. Ugh, I'm gonna make it look bruised and stuff, but it's really eating me for some fetish because it's not the same shade as me. That's what's bothering me. Yeah, I'm gonna be making that area look real bruised up, real bruised up. Cause baby, that is not sitting well with me at all. Not at all. Looks like it wasn't real weird. First level, we want to look super, super clean. Super, super clean. I think when my nose goes dry, I'll probably make that look super, super skinny, y'all. I don't know. Maybe. That's a big maybe, y'all. Okay. Okay, we got that blended as much as I can get it blended. Go ahead. Darker foundation. slim down my face as good as we could, y'all. And just so y'all know, my makeup usually don't take this long. Get ready to set our face. Then we can move to the last and final aspects. Oh, our Lord. And like I told y'all, with this look, I'm not gonna bake. I'm not gonna do nothing extra because I'm not going anywhere. So there's no reason for me to bake. There's no reason for me to do nothing really. Right now. I'm going ahead and grab my tea. Almost to the finish line. Almost to the finish line. I had to go get my teeth. I would have got the individual ones, but I didn't feel like it, so I was like, screw it. I just didn't have time with the waiting and all that. Just didn't have time. So now I'm gonna go in with my Black Radiance True Complexion Sculpting Palette. I'm gonna go ahead and sculpt my face. You know how I can tell like my children been playing with this? Because it's like stuff on my brushes that shouldn't be on my brushes.
She thinks so. Or she inside. Got the holiday drink.
Just took it upstairs.
Oh, I didn't know it takes upstairs and that. Why is the fire key remote downstairs? Is that ours?
That is not a remote. That is the back of Heaven's remote.
So how she wipe teeth?
That's the back of her remote.
The who?
The back of it.
Oh. They get you. They just send product to you.
I'm trying to remember. Did I do? No, I did not. I was trying to remember. Did I do that side? Do my sides of my face? And I did not. my nose. For some reason, it's just feeling like my contact's not sitting on my eye or something. And you can just use the same brush that you use the contour with to basically just dust off any excess powder from when you set your under eye and stuff. Okay, so now I'm figuring out with my blush. my spoolie to go ahead and blend in my brows. Okay, now I can go ahead and finish the look up. Oh, my